Everyone tells you to stop comparing, stop looking at other people. Don't fall into that comparison trap. It only ends up getting you down, getting in the way in your business growth and making you feel bad about yourself. But you don't want to cut yourself off completely. You want to still be able to look at the other competition and be inspired by what other people are doing. So we need to turn it around a bit and not make the comparison all about feeling bad about yourself, but when you look at other people, be able to make the most of it and actually see ways that you can grow and be inspired without getting you down. So rather than putting your blinkers on and cutting yourself off from everyone, we can turn it around to your advantage. I'm Tabitha and I'm a compulsive creative and brand designer and web designer, and I love working with creative business ladies and bloggers to make sure that their creativity shines and they attract their ideal audience. I want your branding and your designs to be not only unspeakably beautiful, but also tell your story and have depth and meaning. So if that sounds like you, be sure to subscribe to this channel where we talk about all things creativity, design and branding. As a creative myself, I know it's all too easy to start comparing yourself to other people. So in today's video, I want to talk about 7 ways you can turn that around to your advantage. And next time you find yourself looking at someone's work for a bit too long and comparing it with what you're doing and where you're at, you're going to turn that around and make it a positive experience and help you grow rather than getting in a rut and feeling all bad about yourself. So number 1 is analyze your competitors. Now it's likely that when you come across someone's work and you start feeling that funny feeling of, oh, I just don't feel like I'm measuring up to what they're doing, or I don't feel like I'm as good as them. Usually it's not just this overall, oh gee whiz, they're so amazing and I could just never measure up to that. There's usually something in particular about them that you feel that you're lacking or you're not quite where they are in that particular thing. So take the time to actually pinpoint what is it that you actually feel a little bit envious about, and what is it that you're actually trying to compare yourself to. Is it their social media following? Is it their skill in their ability to create or design? Is it their copy? Is it the way they speak and their voice online? Is it the way they dress and present themselves, or the way they look? Actually pinpoint what it is about them that you are comparing yourself to and what it is that you're feeling that little bit of envy of. By doing this, you can pinpoint your feelings and why you feel that way, so that then you can work on it and take action and grow. So say for example you realise, wow, they've got such a big following, I feel so envious because no one's looking at my work. So you can write that down and say, okay, that's something that I feel a bit triggered about. That's something that I would like to better myself in. And so you can work on actually improving that area, that aspect that you feel that you're comparing yourself to others about. So for example, if that problem of you feel like everyone else has got a bigger following and you're looking at people going, oh, they've got such a great following and I don't, then start brainstorming. How can I start to grow my following? How can I really work on that? Do I need to take a course on that? Do I need to do some research? Do I need to just really focus and put a lot of attention into that? So really take the time to think, what is it that I'm upset about, and how can I actually use that to help myself grow, and take the time to really focus in on improving that area and aspect that I feel that I'm not quite there yet. Just make sure that you don't fall into this trap of just staring at them for ages, feeling, oh, woe is me, I'm not there. Just be real quick about it. Go, right, so I'm upset that they've got a bigger following than me, so I'm just going to move away from them right now, and I'm going to do my research, start brainstorming and think about how I can go about improving in that area. You want to be working on your own journey. Everyone's on different paths, different journeys, and maybe they spend a lot of time focusing on that thing that you feel jealous and upset about. So take the time to think, okay, now I'm going to do that. I'm going to take some time to really focus and work hard at that. Number 2 is remember your niche. It's so easy to be looking at other people's stuff and thinking, oh, I could never take such great photos like they do, or my calligraphy isn't as beautiful as theirs. But if your niche is in a completely different area, like if you're a food stylist and you're worrying about what someone is doing with calligraphy, then obviously they're in a different niche and they've taken the time to improve that skill, work hard at it, dedicate hours and hours to getting good at it. but you're doing something else. Just because you're creative doesn't mean you need to be creative at everything. I know it's all too easy to be like, wow, they're so good at that and that person's so good at that, you know. But the thing is, it's all about what you put your focus and energy into. So remember your niche, remember what it is that you put your time and energy into, and remember that they put their time and energy into something else. And if you really are finding yourself getting funny about it, maybe it's because you actually deep down want to do that thing. So maybe you need to take the time to look at exploring it. Maybe you should take a course or start learning it and experimenting and putting some hours into it yourself. If it's something that you're like, wow, I'd really like to get good at that myself. And even if their niche is quite similar to yours, remember that everyone has different takes on things too. Maybe they use different equipment. Maybe they've got a different style. Just because they're doing the same thing doesn't necessarily mean they're doing it in the same way. So don't start comparing when maybe they've got a different style or different technique to the way you were doing. Number 3 is learn from them. So if you're checking someone out and think, wow, they're doing so good at this, try and, not get too worked up and get in your feelings about it, but actually study them and look at how they're doing what they're doing. How did they get to that point? Maybe read their story and their journey, find out how they got where they got, or analyze how they're doing it. What little things are they doing to get to where they are? Look at their business, look at who they're, targeting. How are they targeting those people? How much effort are they putting in? How often are they putting their stuff in front of people? How much time are they putting into practicing and getting better at their skill? Take the time to study how they're doing what they're doing. Obviously, you don't want to end up copying them because, that's bad stuff. But you want to get inspired by how they're getting to where they're getting and, what can you take from that? What can you learn from the way that they're doing what they're doing? Look at how they're becoming successful and how you can be inspired by that and how you can take little actions based on what you're seeing them doing so that you can, further your journey yourself. Number 4 is put it in context. Now, sometimes you'll compare yourself to someone else, but they've been in business doing, their particular thing for years. Maybe they're, the most brilliant knitter and they've been knitting for 10 years and you've only just started it and maybe just been doing it for the last 3 months and you're looking at theirs and going, wow, I just can't be as good as them. Well, obviously they're putting a lot more time and energy into it because it takes a lot of practice to get good at something. And, they've probably had lots of customer feedback, lots of hours to get better at it, and they've made a lot of mistakes on the way and got better and better and better. But if you're just starting, you can't compare yourself to them because you're at the beginning of the journey and they're much further on. So you need to put it in context and remember those things. Try turning that jealousy into hope and think, well, look where they've got to now. In another 5 or 10 years, I could be there. I've just got to keep on putting that same effort in that they've been putting in. Because remember, it's not a race. Everyone's on their own path and journey. So, if you really love what they've done and where they've got to, find out more about them, read about their story. How did they get to that point? And use it as inspiration, a way to start paving your own journey. Think, oh, I see they did that and that. Maybe you could learn from their mistakes too, so you're not making the same mistakes, and maybe it can help you actually get there a little bit quicker than they. Number 5 is make friends with them. Now, that may sound a bit odd if you're getting all jealous and worked up about someone, but being friends with them might actually be the best thing for you, because getting to know them means you're surrounding yourself with people that will inspire you, lift you up, and make you want to push harder and do better. These are the kind of people that you want to be around, is the people that, are better than you. If you're constantly hanging around with people that aren't as good as you, they're actually going to pull you down. You want to be around people that are, higher level, so that it's pushing you up and making you strive and work harder. Because you're the average of the, most primary people that you're hanging around. So, the top 5 or so people that you spend all your time with, you're actually going to become the average of that. So be sure that you are making friends with and hanging out with the kind of people that are better than you and that inspire you, so that you're going to become better yourself. Number 6 is focus on your own uniqueness. Obviously, there's something about them that you think is super cool and awesome, but try to actually remember too what's super cool and awesome about you. What do you do that's really amazing and, other people might be jealous of too? You've got your own style, you've got your own brand, you've got your own way of approaching things and doing things. So actually take the time to build yourself up a bit. Write it down. What makes me awesome, And then it might remind you too, you do some pretty cool things. It might not be the same as what that person is doing, But you've got your own, way of doing things. You've got your own unique, cool vibe and style and way of doing stuff. So celebrate that, actually appreciate and take the time to, think about and be like, yeah, I'm really good at this. So stay true to your own style, your own brand and your own mission. Don't be led astray by, oh, I wish I was more like them, or I wish I was more like them. Get clear on what your why is, what your purpose is, what your mission is, what your story is, what it is that you're doing, and then stay true to it. Don't just be lost in what everyone else is doing. Number 7 is be grateful and enjoy the process. Remember that this is a journey, and every step of the way there'll be great things that happen, there'll be challenges, there'll be twists and turns, things you have to overcome, ways that you improve and get better, mistakes you make. It's a great big journey. So be grateful for every little step and every little time you get that little bit better. Maybe something good happens, maybe your followers increase and you get more recognition, or you land that really great client, or you design something that you're just so proud of. Celebrate all those little steps and be grateful for the journey that you're going through. Really enjoy it, and remember that just because you're not like somebody else doesn't mean you've got your own special, unique path, and you're doing great things and you're making progress, and it means something. Be sure to focus on each step, because every step of the journey gets you closer to the goals that you have for yourself. So just one step at a time, appreciate it, be grateful for it, and enjoy it. And a little bonus tip: celebrate other people's successes. Why not, instead of next time that you get, looking at someone feeling all bad about yourself and comparing, celebrate them. Maybe send them a message or, an email saying, I really love what you're doing. You're really inspiring me. Build them up. Take the time to, celebrate them and make them feel good and make their day. Doing this puts out that positive energy, and it will start attracting it back to you. You'll feel really good about yourself because you built them up, rather than getting into that negative space, pulling yourself down, tearing yourself apart. Just instead let them know that they're really awesome. It could be as simple as just leaving a comment on their Instagram post, or just send them a quick email telling them how much you just adore their work and how much they inspire you. It'll give you those warm and fuzzies knowing that you made another talented creative feel really good about themselves too. So let me know in the comments what you're going to do next time that comparisonitis hits. And be sure to subscribe to this channel for more about branding, creativity and design.